A woman doesn't lose respect for you when you fail. She loses respect for you when you give too much without being valued. Read that again. Most men ruin their chances with a woman not by being bad, but by being too good in the wrong way. Too available, too giving, too forgiving, too soft, too eager, too sacrificing. And she never tells you you're doing too much. She just slowly loses respect, slowly loses interest, slowly loses attraction. Today, I'm going to tell you the first things you should never do for a woman if you want her to respect you, desire you, and see you as a man with value. Stay till the end, because the last point is the one men ignore the most, and it's the exact one that makes women pull away without warning. Before we go deeper, here's one reason to stay till the end. What you're about to hear will save you from mistakes that make good men lose respect faster than a bad haircut. We post daily videos on red flags, dating advice, and female psychology stuff every man should know but nobody teaches. So hit subscribe and like, unless you enjoy being confused. And drop a comment on what you want to fix: confidence, texting, or just staying calm. Your comment might help another brother out. All right, let's continue. Why this happens, let's be honest for a second. Most men grow up thinking that the more you give a woman, the more she will love you. But here's the truth in simple English. A woman doesn't fall for the man who gives the most. She falls for the man who gives with standards. Women love kindness. Women love loyalty. Women love effort. But not when it comes from fear. Not when it comes from insecurity. Not when it comes from trying to avoid losing her. Not when it comes from trying to buy her love. Women feel energy before words. She can sense when your actions come from strength and when they come from neediness. And when you do too much without her earning it, she stops valuing you. Not because she's heartless, but because human psychology works that way. When something costs nothing, it becomes nothing. And in relationships, a man with no boundaries slowly becomes invisible. Things you should never do. 1. Never fix her problems for her. Listen closely. A woman doesn't want a man who tries to solve every little issue for her. Her drama, her stress, her emotional storms, her friend problems, her job problems, her insecurities, her decisions. Most men rush to fix everything because it makes them feel useful. It makes them feel needed. It makes them feel valuable. But here's the truth. When you fix all her problems, she stops seeing you as a man. She starts seeing you as a tool. A woman respects a man who supports her, not a man who saves her. And if you become her savior, she stops seeing your strength because you're doing the emotional work she should be doing herself. A woman becomes closer to you when you stand strong beside her, not when you throw away your energy trying to erase her problems. 2. Never over-explain yourself. This is one of the biggest mistakes good men make. A woman questions you, and you start talking too much. A woman misunderstands you, and you start defending yourself. A woman pulls away, and you start explaining your feelings. A woman gets upset, and you start apologizing again and again. But here's what you don't realize. Over-explaining looks weak. It feels needy. It sounds insecure. And it kills attraction. A man who respects himself doesn't explain every move he makes. He doesn't try to convince her. He doesn't panic when she misunderstands. He stays calm, clear, grounded. Women don't want a man who talks his way into being accepted. They want a man who knows he has value even when she's emotional. Your calm energy is more powerful than your long paragraphs. Things you should never do. 3. Never make her the center of your life. This is the mistake that destroys more relationships than cheating, arguments, or distance. When a man makes a woman his whole purpose, he loses himself. He stops growing. He stops focusing. He stops leading his own life. And the moment you lose your purpose, she loses her attraction. Women don't say this out loud, but they feel it strongly. A man without purpose cannot protect, lead, or inspire. She wants to be part of your life, not the reason you exist. The moment she feels that your happiness depends on her, she pulls away. Not because she doesn't love you, but because she doesn't want that responsibility. She wants a man who has a life she can join, not a life she has to build for him. We've already talked about 3 things you should never do, but now we're going to get deeper. Because these next mistakes are the ones men make without even noticing, and they destroy attraction silently. Let's continue. 4. Never chase after pulling away. This one hurts, because almost every man has done it. You feel her getting cold, and suddenly you panic. You feel her replying slower, and you start typing longer messages. You feel her losing interest, and you start trying harder. But here's the truth. When a woman pulls away, chasing her only pushes her further. Why? Because chasing tells her you're afraid of losing her. You're dependent on her attention. You don't value yourself. You're the one who cares more. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who becomes desperate. A woman doesn't want a man who crumbles when she creates distance. She wants a man who stays calm and focused on his own life. When she pulls away, you don't chase. You step back. You breathe. You continue living. Your silence speaks more than your messages ever will. 5. Never give her 100% when she gives 20%. This is the death of respect. When a woman gives you the bare minimum, short replies, no effort, cold attitude, mixed signals, and you continue to show up with energy, effort, attention, consistency, she doesn't think, wow, he's so loyal. She thinks he doesn't value himself. Women don't fall for men who overinvest. They fall for men who match energy. A woman should earn deeper love, not receive it by default. When her effort is low, your effort should be lower. When she shows high interest, you meet her there. This is how you stay balanced. This is how you keep your respect. This is how you protect your heart. 6. Never sacrifice your standards to keep her happy. Listen carefully. The moment you lower your standards is the moment she lowers her respect. If you accept her bad behavior, she repeats it. If you forgive disrespect quickly, she stops taking you seriously. If you let her cross your boundaries once, she will cross them again and again and again. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. A high-value man doesn't demand respect. He expects it, and he walks away when it's not given. Not to punish her, not to play games, but because he refuses to lose himself to keep someone else. Women don't love men who bend their standards. They love men who stand on them. We've already talked about 3 things you should never do, but now we're going to get deeper. Because these next mistakes are the ones men make without even noticing, and they destroy attraction silently. Let's continue. 7. Never apologize just to stop a fight. This one destroys relationships. When you apologize just to avoid losing her, even when you didn't do anything wrong, she feels it. Women can sense when an apology comes from fear instead of understanding. And when you apologize out of fear, you teach her, he will apologize even when I'm wrong. He doesn't want to disappoint me. I can emotionally control him. You're not fixing the relationship. You're training her to disrespect you. A real man only apologizes when he actually made a mistake, not when he's scared. When you stay calm, explain yourself once, and then hold your position, she may get upset, but she will respect you more. Remember, respect always leads attraction. Fear kills it. 8. Never put her happiness above your own stability. Women want love. Women want attention. Women want connection. But they do not want a man who loses himself trying to keep them happy. Your mental peace matters more than her temporary mood. A woman respects you when you put your life first, your goals, your focus, your discipline, your energy. She won't say it out loud, but inside she feels safer around a man who has a life outside the relationship. A woman appreciates love, but she is attracted to strength. And strength comes from balance. We've covered 8 things you should never do, and now we're entering the last 2, the most powerful ones. These are the ones that break men emotionally, drain their confidence, and silently destroy attraction without them even realizing. Let's finish the list, and then dive deep into the emotional truth you've been waiting to hear. 9. Never make sacrifices she didn't ask for. This is a mistake men make with a good heart, but it still kills attraction. You give up your plans for her. You cancel your goals for her. You change your schedule for her. You break your routine for her. You sacrifice your time, your money, your energy without her even asking. You do it because you care. But she feels something else, pressure. Women don't want a man whose whole life bends to make them comfortable. They want a man who makes choices intentionally, not emotionally. When you give up too much without being asked, she doesn't think, "He loves me so much." She thinks he has nothing going on in his life. He's too available. He's losing himself. He needs me more than I need him. And once she feels that imbalance, her attraction drops. Remember this, a sacrifice only means something when it comes from strength, not fear. 10. Never let her become your emotional center. This is the biggest mistake of all. When a woman becomes the source of your happiness, your confidence, your purpose, your peace, you lose your power. You stop being the man you were before she entered your life. You stop being the man she was originally attracted to. This is why relationships fall apart even when the man is doing everything right. Because somewhere along the way, he stopped being himself and he became a version that revolved around her. Women love affection, attention, effort, presence, but not when it becomes dependence. When she feels that her approval controls your emotions, she loses attraction. What women truly want is a man with emotional gravity, strong, stable, grounded. A man who lets them into his life, but doesn't hand his life over. A woman should add to your peace, not become the source of it. This is how you keep your power. Now, let's talk about something deeper. Something men never say out loud, but they feel every day. Maybe you've been that man who gave too much, who tried too hard, who put her first even when she didn't put you second, who apologized just to stop the argument, who chased just to feel seen, who changed himself just to keep her happy. Maybe you've loved a woman so much that you forgot to love yourself. And somewhere inside you, you felt it the moment she stopped appreciating you, the moment she stopped noticing you, the moment she pulled away while you tried harder. That pain is real. That confusion is real. That heartbreak is real. Men suffer silently. Men lose themselves quietly. Men carry emotions they never talk about. But hear me clearly, nothing is wrong with you. You just gave too much to someone who didn't value it. And that does not make you weak. It makes you human. You are not wrong for loving deeply. You were wrong for loving without boundaries. And you can fix that. Because the moment you stop giving what she didn't earn, the moment you step back, the moment you choose yourself again, the moment you rebuild your purpose, that's when everything changes. That's when she sees your worth again. That's when she feels your absence. That's when she feels regret. That's when your power returns. Not because she validates you, but because you finally validated yourself. Now you know the 10 things you should never do for a woman. But this is where everything comes together. This is where the power flips. This is where a woman starts seeing you differently, not because you changed for her, but because you returned to yourself. Let's talk about the shift that happens inside her when you finally stop giving what she didn't earn. This is where she feels it. 1. When you pull back, she wakes up. Women feel distance faster than men. Not because they're emotional, but because they're intuitive. The moment you stop doing the things you should have never done, she feels it instantly. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing. You stop fixing everything. You stop giving 100% when she gives 20%. You stop apologizing out of fear. You stop sacrificing yourself for her mood. She notices. And that small shift hits her harder than you think. Why? Because she realizes you're no longer depending on her to feel like a man. And that is the moment. She sees your strength. 2. When you protect your self-respect, she feels safe around you. This is the part most men don't understand. A woman doesn't respect you because of what you do for her. She respects you because of what you won't allow. When she sees you hold your standards, when she sees you walk away from disrespect, when she sees you stay calm when she tests you, when she sees you stand on your values. She feels safe, not controlled, not dominated, not scared. Safe, because deep inside, every woman wants a man who can lead himself so she can relax around him. Your self-respect is her emotional security. 3. When you stop giving easily, she starts giving more. This is the part that surprises men the most. When you pull back your overgiving, when you stop being her emotional servant, when you stop making her the center of your world, you don't lose her. You finally give her space to show her effort. And guess what? Women match the energy of the man they respect. Suddenly, she texts you first. She asks how you're doing. She shows interest. She tries harder. She stops taking you for granted. Not because she changed, but because you changed the dynamic. Attraction grows in the space where balance exists. 4. Her regret hits when she sees you happy without her. Here's the emotional truth no woman will say out loud. A woman feels the strongest regret not when you leave her, but when you stop needing her. When she sees you, growing, improving, focusing, leveling up, becoming stable, becoming confident, becoming peaceful without her pushing you. She feels something deep inside, regret mixed with respect. She realizes you are never weak. You are simply loving too much. And now that your love has boundaries, you look different. More masculine, more attractive, more powerful. Women don't regret losing a man who was obsessed with them. They regret losing the man who became the version of himself they wanted in the first place. And that's exactly who you're becoming. Listen, you don't need to stop loving. You don't need to become cold. You don't need to push every woman away. All you need is to protect your value. Give effort, but only when it's earned. Give attention, but only when it's respected. Give love, but only when she gives it back. Give energy, but never more than you give yourself. You are not weak for loving deeply. You are strong for learning how to love with boundaries. Because the moment you choose yourself, your purpose, your mental peace, your masculine growth, you become the man women don't walk away from because you don't chase. You're not here to be her world. You're here to build your world and invite her into it if she deserves that place. Keep growing. Keep leveling up. Keep becoming the strongest version of you. You are worth more than the effort you've been giving away. And now you know it. Now tell me, which mistake hit you the hardest? Comment it below. Your words might help another man who feels exactly like you. Hit like if this opened your eyes. Hit subscribe because we post daily videos about red flags, female psychology, and unfiltered truth for men who want to grow. And before you go, tap the next video on your screen. Your transformation continues there.